Tonight we're going to see if we can make one of those little bots, whatever you want to call them, mouse things that run around, bump into things and change direction. There's no fancy electronics in it, just a couple of micro switches, a couple of electric motors, and that's it. I've seen Kip K do them, and I've seen a few other people do them, so I'm going to have a go myself. I've got an odd bit of metal there that I'm going to use for a bracket. I've got a couple of cheap toothbrushes from the pound shop. They've got electric motors in them that I'm going to salvage. That's a thumb wheel out of a mouse, an old mouse. I need something for the back wheel, so hopefully I can use one of them. A few odd bits of wire, and my favourite here that I've salvaged, this is actually the bottom off of a remote control, and it just happens to have access to that little wire there that you probably can't see, that goes across the back two terminals on the battery, and I need to be able to solder onto there, and that's absolutely perfect for the job. So I put that all back together with a bit of wire running up the middle there. That should bring all the wires out to the front nicely, so we'll see how we get on. First thing I'm going to do is just pinch the electric motors out of these toothbrushes. Conveniently, they even come with batteries. Look at that, lovely. Nice little electric motor. It's actually got an offset weight on it. Whether I leave that on there and use it to make the movement interesting, might do. See how it gets on. Just show that a bit closer. Okay, so now I've got me two electric motors, a couple of batteries, and we want to do a bit of soldering just here. So that should be handy, as I say, that just happens to go all the way in there. Inside already there to use it, so I think that was a handy bit of scavenging. That I've even got a cover to put on, keep it all neat and tidy. While the soldering iron's hot, I could solder a couple of bits of wire onto the other terminals. Convention says black is negative. Okay, now on the Kip K video, he mounts his micro switches right next to each other, so you can actually solder the first two tags together without even any extra wire between them. So I should do that. A bit of hot glue, obviously, which we just happen to have switched on off screen. Also, I'm going to mount the motors on here, stretched out at a bit of an angle. It's just an odd bit of metal I had out in the garage. Probably off of a kitchen cabinet or something. That's where most of my bits and pieces seem to come from. So I'm going to sit like that somewhere. I suppose it'd be nice if they matched. Just stuck my finger to it actually. The other thing we've got to do is get that wheel back there somewhere. I'll have a little look at that in a minute. Well, I'm rather pleased with that. Started off with an ordinary paper clip, bent it around a bit, and it just happens to fit now nicely on there. And I shall hot glue that on the back of there with a bit of luck. Should be pretty good. It's tempting to try and do something that allows me to adjust the steering a bit. I'll think about that later. For the time being, we'll just get one that works. Right, I do have a wiring diagram that I've cribbed off the web, so I'll use that and I'll put it on the video anyway at the end. Right, we'll have a go at the soldering now. Could do with being a bit closer. No, afraid you have to put up with it. Kip K does a very nice smooth soldering job. I wouldn't be able to compete with him, so I'll just get on with it. First of all, those two get soldered together. Next, that one. Cool down a bit. It's going to go down to there. I need to cut that. Next, we go from that to there, and from there to there. Let's see what we can do with some of these bits of wire. Right, having a little break now because my pizza's just arrived. Back in a minute. According to me, positive should be connected to the normally closed, which is the middle. And there, if I just trim these first, trim them, tin them, I think is the correct phrase. Glasses back on. Where are they? That's better, I can see what I'm doing now. Okay. Positive. That one. Onto there. Negative. This fella, I want to put that switch, whatever I've done with it. Nicely done. Okay, Grandad. Found it. A couple of spare bits of wire. Very pretty. Don't look too bad, but not as pretty as I'd have liked it. Need to tuck those bits of wire out the way somewhere. And then I need to straighten a couple of these fellas out. And find out if they'll actually solder onto those lever arms, because if they won't, we'll have to come up with some other idea. Adjust the shape of these later. Let's find out if those will accept solder. Oh, good. Case. Finished, I must have missed that one. Okay, put hot glue gun back on again. Right, slight change of plan. Having played with it for a few seconds, I realised that putting that switch in there, on-off switch, didn't actually help. It certainly stopped it going forwards, but if the idea was you could switch the robot off when you put it in a box, as soon as you operate one of these levers, it goes into reverse, and in reverse that switch wasn't in circuit. So for storage, the best thing to do is take the batteries right out. So I'll put the batteries back in for now. Oops. as you can see, motors operate and they only use one battery for going in the forwards direction. If I take that out, you'll see that in reverse it uses the other battery. So if I actually wanted to have a switch to stop the thing operating, it'd have to be a dual switch to disconnect that wire and that wire. And I don't happen to have one of those spare, so I've taken it out entirely. Other than that, we'll go downstairs and try it out. Right, battery in. Right, first test showed that those eccentric weights that were on the shafts of the motors when they came out of the toothbrushes, although it works with them, it struggles. It really doesn't have the power to drive it along. So I've replaced those, a couple of little circular bits of plastic that I've actually put some rubber on, and hopefully that'll give us a bit of grip and it may go forwards and backwards a bit easier. Going very straight. Tried to adjust the back coil a bit, so let's see how we go. Still going left a bit. Made a few minor adjustments, changed the angles of the motors so they make a better grip with the ground. Fresh batteries. Let's see what happens. Can't cope with that because the detectors don't actually touch on that sill. Stuck again. Still, that looks like a success to me. Thinking about it, I might put that on-off switch back in it, because at least you can, when you're holding it like this, you don't have to get the batteries out. Yeah, might do that. Might put the on-off switch back in.